afternoon, this is Jim Lakey with news and announcements for St. John and Maxville, Kansas, and for all of Stafford County. We're on cable channel 3 in St. John and Maxville, and on our website, sandylandcenter.org. Today is Friday, it's the 7th of November already, 46 at the bank at noontime. And we're about to have a partly cloudy and windy day today. Not that we haven't seen windy days before. The high temperature will be 57 degrees. Then on Saturday, sunny and 61. A little cooler Sunday, partly cloudy, 51. And then a lot cooler on Monday, showers, possibly with a little snow, 38 the high temperature with a 40% chance of rain. Then similar on Tuesday, showers, perhaps with a little snow, and 40 the high temperature, 30% chance of showers. We have no birthdays today, but on Saturday, happy birthday to Leonard Getty and Laurie Boyle. And then we have none for Sunday. We want to remind all the folks on Channel 3 that Saturday night, Maxville is having a playoff game at Maxville, and they're still in the playoffs. And so it would be a good idea for everybody in the county that likes football to go over and support our sister city, Maxville, in the playoffs, and hope them and wish them well. Then the Country Kitchen, Bill's Country Kitchen, has let us know that he will be open until 10 o'clock on Fridays and Saturday evenings instead of 8. So Monday is closed, and then they're open until 8 through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday they're open until 10, and of course Monday again they're closed. So we hope to see everybody try out Bill's Country Kitchen. They're really making progress in terms of getting things cooked faster and better, and so you're missing out if you don't go there and visit. Well, we have lots of school and menu announcements. So we'll look at St. John first, and the announcements for that are no school on Monday. And today there's a PAT playoff at 10, which is over by now. The ACT registration deadline and for the ACT exam is also the 13th. Then, as we said, Monday is no school, and on Tuesday, the Kayettes father-daughter banquet is at 6 in the evening, and there's a run-through rehearsal for the play. As for what's for lunch, at St. John today is cheeseburger on a bun with french fries, and they have peaches and milk. And then when we get to Monday, of course, school is closed. And then on Tuesday, chicken and noodles with whipped potatoes. Then we go to Maxville schools, and they're having cheeseburgers today, JoJo's baked beans. I'm not sure if that's two separate things. Then on Monday, they're having pizza, tossed salad, fresh fruit, and dessert. And on Tuesday, hot dogs and baked beans with tater tots. Now we go to the senior fellowship lunches. And the Sunflowers are having barbecue pork chops today and baked potatoes. On Monday, chopped beefsteak with mashed potato and gravy, and on Tuesday, roast beef with gravy and mashed potatoes. And then finally, the last menu, the VIP Center in Maxville, the seniors are having at their fellowship lunch, chicken and stuffing today with corn and green beans. On Monday, they're having ham loaf and scalloped potatoes, and on Tuesday, fried chicken with mashed potatoes and gravy. Well, we'd like you to stay tuned after the word of the day, because we'll have some special reports from the meeting Thursday night with the folks from ASDAC and the person from Kansas that's in charge of our whole district of economic development, and we'll have some photos and some videos of that, and perhaps an interview or two. So stay tuned after the word of the day. The word of the day is this: nearly everybody can stand adversity, but if you want a true test of somebody's character, give them power. This is Jim Lakey, hoping you have a great weekend. This is Jim Lakey, and I'm here with Steve Wycroft, and we just came from an exciting meeting over at the county annex building, and so I just asked Steve, what did he think of the meeting?
Well, you know, before we started the meeting, Steve Frisch and I had a conversation, and you know, you always hope for the best, but you always kind of prepare in case things don't go really well. They couldn't have gone any better. We had a good crowd, I think about 55, and very positive, and people wanting to do good things in their community, and so it couldn't have gone any better.
I know I was glad to see as many of the people from the different city councils and school boards at the meeting, because sometimes it's hard to get them to come to a meeting other than their own. Yeah. And so I thought that was neat. Did me a lot of good to see colleagues there. And I did regret that the 3 smaller cities didn't have anybody, but then again, they might not have an available volunteer tonight.
Yeah, and you know, it's always hard too when you hold an evening meeting and you pick one night to do it. Right. It's hard for people to get there all the time.
That's right. What do you think is going to happen next?
Well, I hope what's going to happen is that the group that was identified is going to come together and start planning. Well, the goal is, how do you start to turn around especially the population decline and improve the economic development of the area? I hope that that's the direction that the group goes.
And so they'll get organized perhaps, and then...
They're going to take at least one meeting to get organized and kind of start to figure out their path. We have recommended a group to them called Hometown Competitiveness, and it's a group out of Nebraska that has studied rural economic development, and so you know that's kind of their expertise. And we're going to invite a person in from Hometown Competitiveness to meet with the group. And my suspicion is they'll probably start to work together. They may not. They may decide to look around for somebody else to help move the process forward. But I suspect that they're going to like what they hear from the Hometown Competitiveness people. And
will we perhaps see you again sometime?
I have told Steve Frisch that the meeting that's been scheduled in January, I'd be glad to come back for that and help in any way I can. But as we get more detail in what we're doing, we start to get above my pay grade.
I see. Well, we don't talk about pay grades here because we all work for minimum wage or nothing, and that's how it is. So the meeting is January 9th? No, 8th.
January 8th.
It's a Thursday.
Yeah.
At 7 o'clock in the county.
Uh-huh.
And they'll get together. Now, I hope that they will have an area in the back where anybody interested who's not in the steering group or whatever would come and participate.
Yeah, my assumption is it's an open meeting. There would be an opportunity for interested, and you always want interested people in this kind of process. You know, that was one of the discussions we had tonight. You really need to be inclusive of all the communities in the county.
And one of the things that I hope that they'll do, and I didn't get a chance to ask you, but it seemed to me like it would be a good idea if they would have a couple of small projects that they could do and actually have something get done.
Have some successes early.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I know, and Steve was with me, we went through all kind of training and meetings and all sorts of stuff for the Main Street Committee. And you know, we had a couple of really good years, and then everybody got tired and there weren't any new people to take over, and it kind of faded out, and people lost interest. And so I hope that they'll have some early successes, and you know, to make it go. And of course, you do have to get trained and you've got to be organized and all that. But I know we have a lot of meetings.
Yeah, and you want to get some momentum.
Yes.
Have some successes.
So what do you have to recommend for us other than to tell the people on the TV that weren't at the meeting?
Well, you know, I think it's an opportunity to really let your imagination run wild. What are the things that we could do to improve the economic conditions in Stafford County? And, you know, I think you obviously want to either stop the declining population or see it increase. And, you know, the per capita income, it would be nice to grow the wealth in the community where everyone prospers more. And I think there are opportunities to do that. You know, rural America used to be more isolated than it is now. But there, especially with technology, you don't have to be as isolated as you used to be. You know, the world can become the market for a place like Stafford County.
I think we do, and maybe you could tell them a little bit about the e-businesses that you
well, the e-business has kind of become you know, my pet hobby because I've studied it a little bit, and the ability to market anything you do to 3 billion people is a fascinating market. And the science of how you do that is very interesting. I spoke with Dr. Taylor from Stafford this evening before she left, and the idea of starting kids learning how to run an e-business. Mm-hmm. And the potential is just unlimited, what you can do with it.
Well, that's what we need, I think, along with some other things.
Yeah, and what we really need to do is tap into the imagination of all the citizens in the county, because there's a lot of people out there that have ideas that are untapped, and we need to start tapping into those and figure ways to make them happen.
And I know that Steve told us, and we were talking before about how important it is to do something, because otherwise we're going to be gone in 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, you know, at the current rate of declining population, it's not good.
No. So we do have to do something, or we'll just fade away.
Yeah.
And so I really hope that this will take on, and people will get enthusiastic. And we do need, everybody who's watching, we need your help and encouragement. Even if you're not going to be on a particular committee or something, we still need your help and encouragement with ideas and goodwill and those things toward the people who are trying. And it's a hard thing sometimes when you try to do something, because everyone can think of a million reasons why you shouldn't do this or that, but you do have to find something that you can do and do it, or you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, we really thank you for coming out here all this way to visit us out in the wilds of Kansas. We think we're central Kansas, by the way.
Yeah.
Because if you look at a map, we're right in the middle, about a third of the way up. And I know they think they're central Kansas and Wichita, which to us they're eastern Kansas.
Eastern Kansas, yeah.
Eastern Kansas. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
And good luck, and we
You're
hope
welcome.
to see you again.
Thank you.
This is Jim Lakey, and I'm here on Channel 3, and I have with me Carol Meyer, and her title is Office of Rural Opportunity Representative.
Isn't that a huge title?
That's such a good name.
Well, I think it is, and you know, if you say the whole thing, it's with the Kansas Department of Commerce, the Division of Rural Development, Office of Rural Opportunity in the Southwest region.
And they put all that on your door instead of giving you a big salary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, my door is my car, because I actually serve a 28 county area of Southwest Kansas, so I go from border to border, Colorado, Oklahoma, all the way over to Barton and Barber counties, and Stafford County, and up to Greeley County. So I have a huge territory to cover. So basically my office is my car.
And I guess we're sort of at one end.
You are. You're at
Where-
the eastern end of the territory.
And where is your home base?
My home base is actually with Garden City Community College in Garden
Okay.
City. And so the state of Kansas has space within the college because we think that education is important, and relationships and cooperating between different organizations is important.
Well, you have a really key job, and perhaps you could tell the folks
I'd be happy to.
what kinds of things you're into and what's happening. And
Really, the sky is the limit with my job. The legislature in 2007 created these offices of rural opportunity because there were so many small rural communities that really don't fit many of the state programs, and they really don't fit into categories that people try to wedge them into. And so the governor has a rural initiative task force, and part of the recommendation from that was to appoint someone in each of the areas of the state to work with communities in whatever way they needed help. So I don't really, that's my job description. I'm here to help in any way I can with either my experience. I have 30 years of previous experience in economic development and chambers of commerce and foundations and leadership. So I can do some from my own experience. And then I have great relationships with all of the state program people, with Network Kansas, with the Small Business Development Center, with USDA, and with hundreds of other agencies out there who are just waiting to be connected with people who need what they have. So I'm a connector.
what sort of, what was your impression of our meeting tonight?
Oh, I was so excited about tonight's meeting. You don't know what to expect. You don't know how many people are going to be willing to take time out of an evening. You've got children's events and you know, any number of things that people are involved with. But I was pleased when I walked in the room to see that there were more than 50 people, that they care very much about what happens to Stafford County, no matter what community specifically they're from, and that they're willing to move forward and work on a really long-term vision for how to stay alive, how to be active, and how to become more open to business and to youth to stay here or to come home.
Well, and once again, I want to urge all of the folks who are watching and on the internet, the folks who are watching the website, to be involved in all of these things that go on. And in each of the communities, there are going to be people who are gathering ideas and forming committees to do different actions and take different tasks. And so volunteer if you can, encourage if you can't volunteer, and certainly don't be a naysayer and get in the way. You know, if you aren't going to help, well, at least step aside and let somebody do things.
Well, it's amazing too, because I think everybody comes with specific gifts or certain gifts, and there are people who are idea people. They can think up 1,000 things that somebody else might do or that they might want to do. There are other people who want to make sure that everybody's on board with whatever it is that has been brought up. There are other people who want to work through the process. You know, how is this going to work? What kind of research do we need to do before anything happens here? And then there are actually people who do the work. So you need all kinds of people.
Yes.
If you're a processing person, they're critical to making sure that what big idea you've come up with gets done. Or if you're one of the doers, somebody has to come up with a great idea for you to do. That doesn't mean that you can't be 3 or 4 of those different things, but there's a role for everybody to play, and it doesn't have to be in front of the camera, and it doesn't have to be as noticeable as what you might think. So there's a place for everybody at the table.
Well, if we have questions, or any of the different groups have questions and things, are you available? I know
certainly am.
we're only one of your, 28 counties?
One of 28, but you know, some counties are more active than other counties. And
Yes.
so the ones who are choosing to be active are the ones that it makes it easier for me to talk about the programs that are available, or to offer whatever experience I can offer on behalf of the state of Kansas. So I want to make sure I give you and your listeners or viewers contact information. And sometimes that's difficult to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. So
Please.
my phone number actually is 620-755-6738. And you can find me email-wise at cmeyer@kansascommerce.com.
All right.
Or you can call Steve Freach, or they can contact you.
Yeah, they can call the Shepherd
Or
Center. and
they can call the Shepherd Center, they can contact, I gave my card out to a lot of people tonight, so somewhere you can find me.
Well, we'll be looking forward to seeing you often.
Thank you.
And what would you recommend for us to be thinking about or doing in between when we have the next meeting in January?
Well, again, it kind of depends on whether you're the idea person or the process person, but I would be thinking of what either small role or huge role I personally would want to commit to when it came time to get together with a group. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be huge, but it could be huge. So I would just challenge people to figure out what am I really good at, what do I enjoy spending my time doing, and how can I fit it into this process.
All right, and again, people that have business ideas of things that could be done, particularly internet businesses.
But I wouldn't want to limit that.
No,
Anything
because-
is open for discussion.
And anything that probably would enhance agricultural products, because we're in the middle of all sorts of agricultural
Well, and
products.
value-added agriculture is
Yes.
major. Tourism is something that fits here very well, and all of the different ways that you can do non-traditional tourism kinds of things. I think those are all opportunities that need to be explored if there's an interest in this county.
Well, we really are glad that you came, and I hope that you have a good trip back. You've got quite a drive, I bet.
I do, but usually I get to see the countryside and I really enjoy that. It's going to be dark tonight.
Yeah.
I'll be watching for deer tonight, but I've really enjoyed the time I've gotten to spend with everybody tonight and exchanged business cards with people who have an interest in either finding a niche for what they're interested in or being connected with the programs that hopefully I can connect them with.
Well, Carol, thank you for coming. This was a really exciting day to have you out to visit
Thank
and
you.
to have that meeting that we had, and we look forward to seeing you often and having some great things happen in our county.
I'll be
And
back to see you,
If we
and I'll be
can,
back to see you.
if we can pilot something good that you can use in another county, then that
I'd
would
love
be
to
good
use you for
too.
a good example.
All right, well, thank you very much, and
You're welcome.
welcome to St. John.
Thank you.